Hey everybody, this is Jim at SP500chart.com. It's about 4:15 on April 10th, 2013. We're going to take a look at the S&P chart. Surprises today. I think that probably goes without saying. But before we take a look, I need to remind you that the website and the video are for educational purposes only, and nothing stated at the site or in the video is intended to be used as investment advice. I can draw lines on charts, but you have to draw your own conclusions from your own research and make investment decisions that are suitable for your personal financial situation. I'm not a licensed financial professional. I'm just a guy that draws lines on charts. So let's take a look. And the first thing I want to say is this. If after whatever relationship we have had over the past couple of years, as we've been looking at the charts, if you get to the end of it, and what am I trying to do? If our relationship were to come to an end, you say, you know, this technical analysis stuff, it's not for me. Or, Jim, I'm just ready to move on to something else. I hope there is one thing that you will never feel that you would be able to say, and that is, you know, the guy just isn't honest. Because one thing that I really try above all things to be in this endeavor is to be honest. And part of that is to say, honestly, it doesn't always work. The second thing to say is, honestly, sometimes it doesn't make sense. Today's one of those days where we would expect some volatility. Okay, we would expect a swing one way or the other. Just because of the news. But we got more than what I thought we would get, and frankly, I thought we were going to be looking at a down day today because of the back test we made on this line. Instead, what happens? Not only do we get back into this pattern, we jump over it. Okay? So that, frankly, comes as a surprise. Additionally, we were in this already very steeply pitched channel that we'd been in for about 3 days. That started to pick up steam yesterday, probably about the time when the Fed made their first leak to their friends on Wall Street. I say that tongue-in-cheek. You heard what happened. The Fed minutes were, quote, accidentally released this morning to about 100 people. So, maybe they were accidentally, you know what I'm saying. So anyway, so this is what we end up with. We end up with just a total violation of the pattern that we'd been looking for, that we had been looking at for the past, 2.5 weeks. So you say, well, man, that really screws things up, doesn't it? Well, not really. Not really. Because all along, I think we've been keying on this lower line right here for our real first signal that we've reached a top. This line has been working starting right here, starting the middle of November. So this line has been working for 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 full months. We've seen other lines that are similar to this. Right back here we had one that lasted 1, 2, 3, 4, a little bit more than 5.5 months. We go back to late 2011, early 2012. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a little bit more than 6 months. So this is not unprecedented, what we've been seeing. It's just a little surprising that we're taking this move in such what appears to my eyes to be in an extended fashion. So let's look at it. 30-minute chart. This line produced a strong bounce. We also, if we're going to look at it honestly, we have to say, and we still haven't gotten back into this red channel here, so that continues to serve as resistance. And I don't think we will. I would be absolutely shocked if we tag this line. I'm not saying it's impossible, but that would surprise me. Additionally, I've added one feature to this chart, and this is what I've done. Here's the line. I've gone back to this last top here that occurred late in the week of March 11th. I've extended it back, and then I've extended it forward, and I'm just wondering if that may, because this would be the last 2 times any such line would have produced resistance, maybe that is now going to come into play. It sure looked as if this market was ready to roll over, but it obviously did not roll over today. So I'm thinking, as we've been saying all along, look for a potential tag on this upper red line, which I'll remind you is this resistance line that marks the 2000 S&P top, the 2007 S&P top, and now, as I told you on numerous occasions, that line can be reached, and when it is reached, the headlines will all read S&P 500 sets new record high. So the temptation is clearly going to be, let's jump on this market because it's setting a record high. But just as a word of caution, not telling you what to do, but as a word of caution, we can get up to that level. We can actually get even a hair, the way I have this line drawn, we can get a hair over 1600. And that's where that line would be touched. So guys, there you have it. The Fed meeting just threw a monkey wrench in everything, and there are people who say they just won't touch the markets on Fed Day. So maybe there's some wisdom in that. The good news is I'm still not short. So I made a little bit of money on my paltry long positions today, but really waiting for either a pullback or sign of a major top. And here's the deal. If we get up to this line and then we start to come back down and start to make a topping pattern, then I'll be honest with you, that's going to kind of call the whole idea about buying on a pulled back potentially into question. Because again, if we look at this chart, and you're let's say you're in the year 2000, and you say I'm just waiting for a pullback, and the market gets up into the mid 1500s, and then it pulls back to 1400. You say, boy howdy, there's my pullback, I'm going all in. Well, you didn't do too well. Same thing if you are looking at the markets in 2007 saying, hey, I just want a pullback. Well, if you got in at about 1300 and then you were quick to get out, you did okay. But so what I'm saying is, if we get up to this area and make a top, then we need to look at how big that top might be, because it could be more significant than just these little intermediate twists and turns that we've been seeing over the past 4 years or so. So we'll know more about that if and when we get there. But for right now, the good news, keep watching this yellow line until it breaks. I would stick with the long side. If it pulls back to this line again, I would even stick with the long side, but I would do so with a clear exit plan. So guys, there's your video for April 10th, 2013. I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. And hey, let's see what happens with the rest of this week.